1975 movie Deep Red follows a musician named Marcus Daly, played by David Hemmings. Marcus becomes involved in the investigation of the serial killer after witnessing one of the murders. The film is a giallo, and as such features many of the staples of the genre, including expressionist lighting and a focus on sex and violence. Deep Red also adheres to the rules of the giallo that pertain to the killer. For example, the killer wears black leather clothes. Most important, however, the film contains several scenes that are shot from the killer's point of view. In this scene, for example, we are given a disturbing and thorough tour of the killer's lair as the camera pans across several gruesome and uncanny objects before cutting to an intimate close-up of the killer's heavily mascaraed eye. This scene establishes a link between the audience and the killer that persists throughout the film. In his essay on Deep Red, Bertolini writes, "The film forces us to see what the killer sees. Our vision in this case is not impaired with regard to the object. It is still imperfect, though, with regard to the holder of the gaze, the subject who watches and kills. We enjoy an optical alignment with a murderer's eyes without seeing his or her own face." Later in the essay, Bertolini returns to this theme of perspective. He writes, "Perhaps more than any other director, including Hitchcock, Argento uses the killer's point of view shots through keyholes behind curtains from the darkness, or victims' horrified returning gazes to align killers and spectators in the name of the murder. This results in a direct and audacious relationship between spectator and the murder scene. Dragged into the criminal tableau with some kind of pornographic strategy, the spectator further experiences obscene longings of the gaze that no diegetic figure could share. The audience's sadistic collaboration, solicited through visual desire, is free of narrative verisimilitude or psychological rationale." In his essay Gangs and Guilt, Towards a New Theory of Horror Film, T.S. Cord explains how the killer cam intrinsically implicates the audience in the crime. Cord writes, "Films assign to viewers a specific point of view, or alignment. They also invite viewers to identify, or form an allegiance with, the film's hero or victim. In most genres, alignment and allegiance are yoked together. Horror alone separates the two. Horror films achieve this by forcing viewers into the visual perspective of the guilty party. Viewer allegiance is steered towards the victims of violence, while alignment is linked with the victimizer through first-person point-of-view camera angles. Forcing us into the killer's perspective invites us to enjoy the violence, which, if we do, makes us guilty. From the outset, then, horror places its viewers into an impossible position. The terror of the victim is supplanted by the delight of the torturer, which is being consciously shared by the audience. This is how the horror film operates. Our interest is engaged not on behalf of the victim, but on behalf of the killer. What the horror film wants from us is not fear, but an admission of guilt." Another way Deep Red implicates the audience is through its red herring reveal of Carlo as the killer. After Marcus finds evidence that incriminates Carlo, the two come head to head, and Carlo seemingly confesses to the murders.
I read the name. Carlo.
I got here late. Too bad.
Well, so now what are you going to do?
Kill you. I'm sorry, because I like you. But I have to kill you. I told you to stay out of it. Pack up and clear out, I said. Why? Why didn't you listen to me? Are you stupid or something? Don't you realize it's all your fault? You're just so damn stubborn. If you hadn't meddled, stuck your damn nose in it all.
Because we believe that Carlo is the killer, when he is caught, we breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that justice will soon be served. We are also happy to see his brutal demise. In the subsequent scene, Carlo is attempting to escape from the police. He stumbles onto the road and becomes the victim of a gruesome car accident, in which he is dragged down the street by a garbage truck and run over by a car. However, it is eventually revealed that Carlo's mother is the true killer. We are forced to reconcile with the fact that we took joy in the tragic death of an innocent man. Therefore, Marcus and the audience have become the villains, and Carlo and his mother now seem like the victims. Thus, when Carlo's mother says,
"Damn you! I hate you!" Carlo had nothing to do with any of this, and you killed him.
we feel like she is speaking not only to Marcus, but to us as viewers as well, and it is nearly impossible to disagree with her.